Tim, thanks for your time. It seems like something changes. And, of course, we've discussed USC, UCLA, and all of that. What is your overall view, Tim, of where we are with college football, and where is this eventually, in your opinion, going to go?
Gosh, fellas, I don't know how many times I can paint a brighter picture than everyone wants to see, but, I mean, I think we're simply in transition. We're about 30 years behind in transition because the sport has been slower than molasses to change. We're finally, ridding ourselves of the NCAA, which completely at the Division I level, which I think has long since been overdue. So that's going to really help, in the short term as well as the long term. And for anybody that's saying, well, wait, what do you mean, Brando? We're getting rid of the NCAA. We are. We're getting rid of it. In college football Division I, we're getting rid of it. When the new television contracts go into play for the college football playoff, I think the restructuring and reorganization of college football's power Division I programs, which would be the 65 or so schools that we have currently in 5 conferences, could be less than that now, could be 4 instead of 5. They will run and govern themselves as they should. And, it's my hope, because I've been saying it for all these 30, 40 years, that we unify. And whether we have a czar that is a rotating czar that comes from one of the power conferences and they have their turn in the barrel to be the czar, or we have a permanent one. Either way, that's what we need. The NCAA need not have anything to do with Division I college football. They screwed this thing up with NIL and the transfer portal. They did this to the sport. Okay? 15 years of kicking the can. Ed O'Bannon. How far back do we need to go on this? Okay? Just check the history. They did this to college football. And they really didn't care because, after all, in 1984, they lost all the revenue anyway when the universities of Georgia and Oklahoma got the Supreme Court decision that they did. And college football has been commanding its own television rights ever since. So some of the greed of some of those conferences got us to this point because they had the rights that the NCAA had lost. So we shouldn't have been worried about anything that Mark Emmert or any of his predecessors were doing when it came to Division I college football. The NCAA can just handle the men's basketball tournament. They do a really nice job of that. It makes a hell of a lot of money. It funds over 85% of the championships of all the non-revenue producing sports. Good for them. It's going to last until 2032, and then we'll see what happens after that. Okay, but the NCAA still can be in the business of intercollegiate athletics, yes. But as it relates to infractions, as it relates to enforcement, as it relates to sanctioning bowl games, why the hell do they have any say whatsoever? Why do we have a Division II soccer coach on the college football rules committee? That crap's been going on forever. Okay? So we're in a hell of a lot better shape now in the direction that we're going, across the board. The landscape of college football Division I is in far better shape moving forward than it is looking through its rearview mirror. And if fans my age or older have a problem with, the players now getting some money, well, you better get over that. You better just get over it, because these players have been abused and have given their bodies over and over and over again, and a lot of them, after their eligibility was lost, were left with nothing. None of the schools seemed to care about whether they graduated. They just wanted to get their eligibility taken care of. Please stay eligible, okay? So there's a lot of looking into the mirror that needs to take place as it relates to why you don't like this or that. I get the fact that fans have always resisted change. And I get that fans, Smokey, I get the fact that they don't give a damn about anything other than their own team. That's it. I care about all of college football. And college football has finally gotten to a point where it now has a chance to cash in and make more money than it's ever made and should have been making for a long period of time. And part of that means that there are going to be some growing pains along the way and some concerns, yes, that everyone has. But understand this. There are a lot of good things going on with NIL and the transfer portal. A lot of things you don't hear about. Okay, the celebrated stories of players holding out, waiting to get that big cash from Miami and whether they're going to go to Florida or not. Those are the things you read about because it's good copy. But there are a lot of good things going on with NIL and with the transfer portal. So we just need to regulate it, and we need to make sure that we stabilize these waves, these tidal waves that are out there with the changing of times. And I think we can do that with time. We need the midterm elections to get here and get past those midterm elections. And then I think the commissioners are going to go up to Capitol Hill, and they're going to have one party in control of both the House and the Senate, and they're going to get the ears of the people that matter, and we will at least stabilize what has been a wild, wild west as it relates to these two factors that the NCAA left college football with because it kicked the can down the street for 15 years and didn't do their damn jobs. So that's why we're where we are, and that's where I see us going in the future.
Tim, it's interesting to me